Good morning. How's everybody this morning? It's Thursday, it's almost Friday. Welcome to Healthcare Heroes Self-Care Moment with Lee Health. I'm Nicole Traum. And just before I hit live for this, my daughter just came in. She was actually downstairs this morning when I got up. It was like 5 o'clock. Hopefully we've talked about privacy, so hopefully she won't be walking in here during this. This is the way life goes, right? So this morning what I wanted to talk to you all about is first, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this is meeting you where you are and with what you need. As I was prepping for this, I was thinking about my first experiences with yoga and meditation. And I started doing yoga about 20 years ago. And then about like 16 or so years ago, I started doing a type of yoga, I guess it was like 17 years ago. And the basic tenet of it, when I first heard this, it just like made everything soften for me. And since the theme this week is about letting your edges soften, letting your outer body soften, I thought I would share this. And the idea is that it's called open to grace. So just think about that for a minute. Think about what that might feel like for you or what that means to you. Grace is something that we don't need to do anything for. It's something that's already there. There's a grace in just the way that we get to live our lives, the way that we get to breathe. And so constantly I would come to these classes and the teacher would be like, okay, take a few minutes and close your eyes and just let yourself open to grace. And sometimes it would even just make me cry. Like it would just kind of crack me open. So it's a really beautiful thought to contemplate, especially when we're thinking about the idea of letting ourselves soften. So take a moment this morning and just think about what that idea of open to grace means to you before I go into ideas of how you can cultivate it. So take a moment here to sit up nice and tall. You can lengthen your spine, maybe even let your shoulders come onto your back. And just start to feel yourself connecting with your breath. Good morning. With your eyes closed, feel your inhale, feel your exhale. I think when I think of grace, I think really our breath is one of those really things that we don't really do anything for it, right? It's there. We take it for granted sometimes. But even when we hold our breath and we try and contain it in some way, if we try to hold our breath for too long, your body will actually knock you out so that it can breathe because it wants that breath. It's something natural and occurring and free to you. So as you turn within and just start to connect with that breath, feel yourself filling up on the inside as you inhale. And then letting your outer body soften over that fullness. Inhaling and exhaling. Feeling your shoulders soften away from your ears. Relaxing the sides of your neck. Just giving yourself a little chance here to connect with your own embodiment, with your own self. You just notice what it feels like this morning in your body and in your breath. Feeling yourself becoming a little bit more expansive with every inhale. So filling up and emptying back out. Filling up on the inside. Emptying out, softening on the outside. And we'll take 3 more deep breaths like that, just feeling, engaging with what you have this morning, with who you are. Good. All right, and then just start to stretch your arms out by your side. So turn your palms forward a little bit. Start to roll your palms up as you roll your shoulders back. Move your head side to side. We'll bring a little bit of movement in. Feeling your neck lengthen, feeling your back body lengthen. Good. And then turn your palms down and round forward a little as you move your head side to side. And then roll your shoulders onto your back, lift your chest, and exhale as you round and turn forward. So just do a few more like that. Rolling your shoulders up and back, your hands moving up and back, and then turning the palms down and back as you bow forward. 2 more. Just rolling up and rolling back. Last round. And then as you come on out, you can bring your shoulders onto your back nice and slow. Some crackles this morning. I heard it thundering earlier. Probably gonna get a little storm here, which is okay. And then let's just start to come in and sit back in our seat for a moment. So I want you to sit back in your seat if you can, and see if you can bring your right foot, you can even place it on your chair, and just start to reach forward. So you can also do this when sitting down, just bending that knee, extending your opposite leg if you want, bowing forward, reaching forward side to side, stretching into your back body. And then come on out and we'll switch sides. So bring your left leg up, hug that leg in, sit up tall, and then just start to bow forward. As you reach forward, you can even kind of grab onto your fingers and just rock a little side to side, feeling your back body stretch, feeling yourself breathing into that space. Good morning. How are you guys this morning? I love seeing comments on here. You can tell me where you're watching from. If you're watching from, I know our employment center has been watching in the morning. I love that. I love hearing that. And then come on out and just kind of notice how that feels. And now lean forward a little bit and just bring your elbows onto your knees. If you want, you can even drop your head and just start to move your head side to side. So you want to stretch into the back body a little bit. And one of the ways that we tap into that grace is just by feeling what it's like to be alive in our bodies. Right? So just notice that this morning. Maybe it feels good, maybe it doesn't feel good. That's okay. All right, we're gonna bring some movement in, and then from here you can start to make big circles. Just start to notice as you move and as you breathe, how that makes you feel. My chair is a little squeaky today. Just moving round and round. And when we let ourselves really move and settle into our body, it's gonna help us to really just receive. And that's the other part of grace, is letting yourself receive. Change your direction now, just moving in another circle. And this helps to be a little bit more forward in your chair so that when you come back and around, you can actually lean back. Good morning, Kristen. Yes, grace is totally about receiving. And I think as caregivers, which a lot of us are, it's super difficult to receive because we're givers, right? But the practice is in letting ourselves soften enough so that we can receive, so we become a better giver. And come on in and then just lift your heart, roll your shoulders back, and exhale as you round and pull your belly in. We're gonna do 2 more like that, just kind of waking things up. I have a fun little movement here for us after this. And we're gonna come in and do eagle arms. So you're gonna start with your arms stretching out, and you can bring your right arm underneath and give yourself a hug. This is one thing that I'm missing. I'm missing hugging my friends. So imagine you're hugging your most favorite friend, right? That person that you can't wait to hug after all this is done, after we get to really be close to people again. And you can stay like this, or if you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can bring the backs of your palms together, or you can even wrap your arms up. And then what we'll do, if you want, you can even cross your right leg over the left. And inhale as you lift your elbows up. Exhale as you bring your elbows down to your knee. Inhale and exhale. You can still do it like this too. You can do it like a hug, just lifting those elbows and bringing them down. Let's do 2 more here. Create a little space. Feel your body stretching out. And then we'll come on out and we'll uncross everything as you just stretch out, expanding your wings. So if you heard that theme from earlier in this week about the butterfly, you can move your head side to side. Just let yourself expand. Good. And then we'll come in and we're going to do the other side. So now you're going to bring your left arm underneath. Start with a bear hug, thinking about that person that you can't wait to hug, or maybe the next person that you're going to hug too. Giving yourself that embrace. And then if you want, you can stay there. Back of hands can come together, or you can wrap all the way up. Depends on your shoulders, really. From here, with that left leg crossing over the right, and you can inhale and exhale. This is a fun one to do also standing. This is just a nice way to get into the back body. You can squeeze your legs in towards each other. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then as you come out, we're going to stretch those arms out. Just take a big stretch. Stretch out your wings. Move your head side to side. So I came up with a list of 5 things that you can do to open to grace. We might have a friend with us today. You can sit over there. All right. So our 5 things to open to grace, they're going to start with slowing down. And that's a great place to start, especially as we're going to come into a little bit of breath and movement. So give yourself a chance here as you sit tall to just start to slow down. Maybe it's by slowing down your movement. Maybe it's by slowing down your breath. Eventually it becomes slowing down the thoughts, but that's not necessarily the only way to get there. The next thing is to declutter. And I think that this is a really important one for us as, we've had some more time at home, and I'm sure I do see a lot of people posting like, I cleaned out my closet, I did this, I organized this. And what that does is it gives us more space to just be. It organizes things so that we feel safe, right? And it can also be not just like physical things, right? You can start to organize, how are you structuring your day? How are you structuring your own connection with yourself? So that's another way of decluttering. The next one is to accept and cultivate gratitude, right? We just talked about receiving, how opening to grace, how grace is about receiving, and grace just kind of wells up in us, that happiness, that fullness, when we're grateful, when we think about the things we're most grateful for. The next one, number 4, is breathe. Obviously, that's a big part of what we do here. So just take a couple deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. You can sit more comfortably now. We're going to get into that last one in a second. Inhaling and exhaling, just filling up and emptying out, and just feel yourself start to receive from that process. And the last one on my list for opening to grace is taking a breather, taking a break. So whether you're doing this in the morning, or you're watching this later, or you're doing this at the end of your day, taking that time for yourself is allowing yourself to receive. It's allowing yourself to cultivate more awareness, more mindfulness. So we will end today with a little bit of breath and meditation. So sitting up nice and tall, you can lengthen your spine and just give yourself that chance to turn within. You can soften your eyes, or you can close your eyes here and just give yourself some space to start to settle. So noticing what you've got going on this morning. Sometimes when we close our eyes, when we turn within, everything turns on, and that's okay. That's part of the process, right? So acknowledge all those thoughts, acknowledge all the distractions. I've got a little distraction that keeps walking in and out of here. Acknowledge them, but then let yourself keep going. Give yourself that grace to soften a little bit. And then as you start to slowly turn within a little bit more, notice the flow of your breath. Notice the sensations that come up. Start to feel your shoulders softening away from your ears. Let the skin of your face soften, the muscles around your eyes and your mouth relax. Start to feel your upper back just broaden as you inhale, and then with your exhale, just soften back a little bit more. Even lean back into your chair if you'd like. give yourself a chance to just take a break, to just be. Opening up to what you already have, the grace that's all around you, the gifts that are all around you. All the clutter starts to fall away. All the distractions, they're still there. But you come back to what you have. You come back to your breath. Come back to the fact that you woke up this morning. That you're able to even be present right now. And just giving yourself a couple more breaths here, just letting yourself receive. Filling up with your inhale. Filling up with your exhale. You take one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly, and just feel what it's like to be here now. Feeling your outer body, feeling your edges start to soften. Not in a way of weakness, but in a way of receiving. We'll take 3 more breaths here. And then slowly blink your eyes open. Come here.
It's a pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl, yeah. So as we close, we send out lots of love, right? And we're going to do that together. Can we bow together and say namaste? All right, so let's bring our hands in front of our hearts. I want you to bow to yourself this morning. Honor all that you do. Honor all who you are and what you are, not only to yourself, but to others. So we bow together with our hands in prayer. Namaste.
Namaste.
This has been Nicole Traum and Mackenzie Traum, obviously, with Lee Health's Healthcare Hero Self-Care Moment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all soon. You can tune in tomorrow. Oh, Miss Molly says hi.
Bye.
All right, we gotta hit the button on there, the X right up there. Bye, guys.